Hey, hey, check out this day. I'm road testing my Samsung earbuds, so hopefully they'll be working. And I'm in self-isolation, so I'm going to go for a walk on the beach. Just wondered if anyone needed a bit of beach therapy. Look at this day, look at this day. Winter in Tasmania. So beautiful. I thought I might just sit here for a sec because the other thing is I thought better charge my phone if I'm going for a walk on the beach and I'm going to go live. And I plugged it into the charger, but guess what I didn't do? Turn the charger on, like the PowerPoint. Special ed, first in, best dressed. How you doing, Groover? So yeah, I'm road testing my earbuds and I haven't really used them much. And then when I traveled, I was like, oh my God, I don't have to lug big headphones around with me anymore when I fly. But I have to say, I still have my Sennheiser headphones with me as well, and I do love them. But yeah, I'm also just checking. I had a battery pack that I took with me when I went to Adelaide that was fully charged, and I'm just checking it's charging my phone before I head off. I'm on 65%, so we should be all right for a little while. I'm doing okay. Finding this whole self-isolation thing a lot of fun, actually. I like it. Bloody South Australia. I came home diseased. I mean, I'm not, but it's precautionary. So I'm allowed to go for a walk for exercise. If I go into a shop or anything, I have to wear a mask. So I'm not going into a shop, but I've got plenty of supplies. I don't know what came over me the other day, but I even bought like 2 liters of milk. I never do that. It was like I knew something was going to happen. What have you been up to, special ed? It's just you and me by the looks of it, so we might as well hang out here on the porch, right? Look at the greenery surrounding my home. I've got a nature reserve over the road and two empty blocks next to me. And because my house is up on stilts, it's unlikely anyone will build directly behind me because they're not going to get a view unless they build a tower. It'd have to be like a 4-story building to be able to see over my roof. Hey, Carolina. No, they didn't bring COVID back to Tassie. No, and I didn't go to any of the hot spots in Adelaide either, or in South Australia. So it's incredibly unlikely that I've got it. But our Premier, because of South Australia going into lockdown, decided that anyone that had been in South Australia from the 8th of July, I arrived on the 10th, needs to self-isolate as much as possible, wear a mask out in public, you know, social distance. I'm a fan of that because I generally think people suck. So I'm quite happy to suck shit Adelaide. I know the whole firm that I work for had to go into lockdown at by 6 p.m. on Tuesday. I'd been at the office all day on Tuesday here in Hobart, but I'm in a building with a lot of other people, and a couple of them are immunocompromised. So it made sense for me to work from home yesterday, and then I've got today and tomorrow off anyway. I don't go back to work till Tuesday. I'll go back to the office on Tuesday. Hopefully, the Premier will lift the must wear a mask thing tomorrow, or the self-isolate thing. But if not, it's masks for 14 days from the day that you got back to Tassie, and self-isolate for 14 days as much as possible. Visitors are discouraged, which sucks because my sister-in-law is just about to get home from Singapore, having spent nearly 2 weeks. Well, she will have spent 2 weeks in a quarantine hotel in Melbourne. And I've invited her and my sister-in-law, my sister and my niece down on Monday. But hopefully we can still catch up. But yeah, I'm not meant to have visitors. But yeah, poor old Adelaide. Gotta love Adelaide though. The two sort of super spreader venues are a really nice restaurant and a winery. That's very South Australian. Knock, knock. So that's where we're going to head, Grievous, down there. It looks like it's a lot further away than it is. But it did make me laugh because they are sort of very proud of their wineries, and rightly so. And they do have some lovely restaurants too. But yeah, it cracks me up. They're the two super spreader venues. Well, Sunny is happy I'm home, although she's pissed off I'm just left to go for a walk. She gives me the grumpiest look. It's like, dude, I'm self-isolating with you. You've got my undivided attention. But she gives me this look like, please don't leave me. I'm like, oh, well, I have to. I'm a human and I've got shit to do. You're a cat. Oh, who's there? Sorry. Who's there, Special Ed? Who's there? The Jehovah's Witnesses? I wanted to go and get a coffee, but I made one because if I went into the cafe with a mask on, they'll all be like, oh no, you've been in South Australia, you germ. So this is a bit of beach therapy for you batshits if any of you need some. I think anyone on YouTube needs therapy. We all do. Look at that sky, guys. Speaking of sky, Sky Z was in my chat the other morning, that mental bloody drive to work. Hey, Scout Inquirer. I'm great, and so is beautiful Sunny. We are walking. Yes, we're going for a beach walk. Or as my friend Shanna in the States says, are you going for a walk on the beach? Because she says whenever I say I'm going for a walk on the beach, I sound like I'm going for a walk on the beach. Don't bring him up anymore, Special Ed. I'm going to start timing you out if you keep dropping his name. You're making him relevant. Why? I mean, it's funny, but why, dude? Let him disappear into oblivion. I mean, he still has to come over and give me a thumbs down every time I do anything on YouTube. Even me acknowledging that, we should just erase him from our memories. It's not like he enhanced our lives in any way. You know how some people can enhance your lives in a negative way? He didn't even do that. Like, he's just a blip. Aussie blip law. Bring him up no more, or I will time you out. I swear to God, the next time you come into my live and say his name, you're going into the naughty corner. And it won't be fun. Everyone will laugh at you. It's sort of a weird time to go live. Kind of most of the Americans are starting to go to bed. Australians, for the most part, should be at work. I was going to have a troll name on YouTube called Dawn Service. Every time I see Special Ed, it reminds me of that. You need to. This is therapy for you, says Special Ed. Beach therapy just for you. We're going to purge that name right out of your head. He's not worth it. He's just... Sorry, Mum. Don't call me that. I'm a proud non-mum. Sorry, Mum. Jesus. Every time you say that, it makes me feel like I've got to start being serious and responsible. The other thing I worked out from that live the other morning is I say fuck way too much. Just showing you the view, guys. I mean, hello. Let me get a bit in front of that house. Look, guys. My front yard. It's a bit all right, isn't it? But yeah, I say fuck too much. I think I was sort of freaking out because I just had these randoms descending en masse. Like people that have never been to my channel before and all these controversial YouTube names. I'm like, oh, shit. It was a great life. Yeah, it cracked me up. It was funny as fuck, but I kept saying fuck a lot. And then I can't believe Hartley made a video of me, but the way she's edited, or he, I don't know if it looks like it's a girl because of the little what's the word, avatar, but I mean, I know it's a cartoon, so it could still be a dude, um, but the way Hartley clipped it, because I'm so laid back usually, I think, and a bit quiet, I'm not quite slow, not slow as in stupid. I'm just not, but it makes me sound like I don't draw breath. And especially because I greet somebody who comes in and they've got a name like it's shit for brains. And I'm chattering away and then I just go, shit for brains. What's up? Like, I sound batshit crazy. I love it. You wonder where they came from. Well, I mean, I did put Drama Vault in the subject, and Drama Vault was a clip channel that's sort of, they've decided to quit YouTube, or probably quit being Drama Vault, I don't know, and named some channels that they found were just way too toxic and they bad juju and they just wanted to get away from fucking YouTube. So I put that in my name, and then obviously that in itself. So I've got to keep, hey Sticks, Joey Wilson, you've got YouTube fatigue. I'm loving it because I just I don't give a fuck anymore. Like, it's so easy to just switch off or have a break or whatever, you know what I mean? Like, when it gets too much, you just go, all right, I'll have a break for a while, and then you do, and then you come back when you feel up for it. And like, I feel that way about Facebook. I hate Facebook. I don't use the word hate. I dislike Facebook. And I keep missing out on people's news because people don't call you anymore with news. If you don't see it on Facebook, you don't know about it. And then they get all butthurt. Oh, you didn't tell me you saw that I bought a new house, or you didn't congratulate me that I had a baby, or so. Where did this news? Where was this announcement made? Facebook. Yeah, I hate Facebook. I dislike Facebook. Shit, my pants are too big. I've put a. Oh my god, real shit for brains. What's up, babe? I put on a pair of yoga pants I haven't worn in ages, and they're falling down. I'm just letting, there's a couple of girls walking along with little tiny babies. I'm just letting them go ahead of me. I'll show you the surf. Joe, you've been on a panel. Whose panel? Hang on, I'll scrub back up. Oh, it's a bit. I'm holding my cuppa in one hand and I've got the pogo stick. What's the selfie stick? But I'm also holding like a battery that's keeping my phone charged. Well, I've kind of lost weight in weird places. So it's sort of the bits that would have normally held them up, I suppose, I've lost a bit of weight. But they're like snug, you know. I'm going to sit down and drink my coffee. I really want to go for the walk, but we'll do that in a minute. I'm having trouble juggling a coffee and a pogo stick and a battery pack. It's all a bit much. Ouch. And I just got a spiky reed up my clucker. Trixie Tension, hello. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. You guys. This beach is sounding sexy. It is sexy. Beaches are sexy. So I've got all the bad boys coming back. I thought that was a one-off, but you're back. You're back again, Helen. Real shit for brains. Well, the little clip that Hartley did, you came, I'm not sure if it was you or a different shit for brains. Maybe it was the not real one. Came in and said, what's up? Or yo, what's up? And then when Hartley clipped me in the middle of me talking about a completely different topic, I go, shit for brains, yo, what's up? It just sounded hilarious. Shalom, Ian. You're back from outer space. No, you're back from outer space. So, real shit for brains is causing trouble. Well, don't say racist shit like that. I don't like racism in my chat. You get timed out for that. Scout. What's shit for brains saying? Let me see. I don't think shit for brains said anything silly, but we don't say abo. Abo is, yes, it is. It's a derogatory term. Australians aren't overly PC about stuff, but when it comes to our Indigenous peoples, we are very protective, and abo is derogatory. It's short for Aboriginal, which also is another word for Indigenous. So thank you for saying sorry. Well, I think saying Indian depends what kind of Indian you're talking about, right? I don't think Native Americans like being called Indian, do they? No, I'm cool with that special ed. It's good for us all to learn. But yeah, I'm not an overly PC channel, but things that are just like really shitty, I will educate you on that. But yeah, Abo's not cool. Not that you would know. Shit for brains, you might have to be timed out for 30 minutes or whatever it is. 300 seconds. Scout, use your little wrench if you need to. This will be the first time I've ever had to have mods do anything on my channel. Hey, Anne-Marie. Doing great, gorgeous. We're going to go for a walk in a minute. I'm just having a coffee and educating some people about why Abo is racist. Well, at least you're true by name, true by nature, real shit for brains, because the stuff you're saying matches your name. So I'll give you a gold star for being consistent. Scout can handle it. You're cooking dinner, Anne-Marie. Yeah, I'm going to make a brown rice. I love a good brown rice salad. I'm going to make that later on. You're having an early dinner. You don't want to repeat the A word, but it does roll off the tongue so nicely. What am I going to do with you, you new gangers? Hey, River, isn't it beautiful? What a gronk. What's a gronk? I don't even know what that is, but it's a good word. Teach me something. What's a gronk? Oh, you're talking about shit for brains? Yeah. I don't know what gronk means, but yeah, I reckon it works. I mean, wanker springs to mind too. It's okay, Scout. I mean, I want people to come here. Like, I suspect some of my subscribers, I've got a feeling a subscriber's actually left my channel because there was Sky Z, who's been coming to my channel forever. When I was watching the replay the other day, I said, hi, Sky Z, and then, well, hi, Sky, and then Sky's not in my chat. And I know that Sky's still around the tubes because I heard somebody else say hi, Sky, today or yesterday. Gronk is Aussie slang. I've never heard it before. Oh, fuck with, yeah, so a wanker, right. But Scout, honestly, you don't have to, unless they, we've talked to Helen about the Abo word, we've sorted that one out, thank God. But You don't have to be on high alert, Scout. I'd rather address stuff and, whether people decide to take what I say on board or not. Yeah, it's very big here, Helen Keller. We do. We have a Mardi Gras. We've got marriage equality here. Oh, earbuds off. Drunk is prison talk. I did check my block list for Sky, and Sky's not on a blocked list and isn't in my Google account block list either. So there's one person in Google account that I've never even heard of. I don't know what the temperature is today. It feels like it might be about 10 or 12 degrees Celsius. It'd be worth it, Helen Keller. That's a great bucket list goal. Australia was a bit slow getting marriage equality through, but we got it through, so that was good. Aha, Heimdall's Cruiser, hello. Yeah, we're down on the beach. Oh, I just lost one of my earbud things. I think I need to put smaller things on them. I thought I'd test drive them today, but they're proving to be a bit of a nuisance. I don't even know I've got them on. I suppose if someone takes the link and we have a chat while we're walking along the beach, I'll be able to hear them. I've got really small ears. I don't think these bud things work for me. That is a slur too, special ed. You can still buy that cheese here, though, I've noticed, in Taswegia. They must have a lot of old packaging to use up or something. But that's a really good plan, Helen Keller. Go to all the different Pride parades. 10 degrees Celsius is 50 degrees Fahrenheit. There you go. See, we're learning stuff. Yeah, they renamed the cheese, Joey, but you can still buy it with its original name here. I don't know if we've just got old stock or... It is. It's lovely with the sun out too, though, Heimdall's Cruiser. Like the sun down here, because we're so close to Antarctica, the sun is really strong here. So, like, it's still warm. You've got plans, Helen Keller, and they all sound good. But yeah, so I don't know. Is it possible Sky blocked me and that's why I can't see Sky anymore? That makes me sad. I want everyone to come to my channel. I think if, people come here and we pass the peace pipe around and people on opposing sides can all just hang out and have a bit of a laugh, wouldn't that be cool? I do catch waves, Tori. Oh, Tori. Special ed. Fuck, I can be such a bimbo. I believe so, Joey Wilson, yes. I keep forgetting this Keep cup. I love it, but it gets a little bit of detergent stuck in the lid, and the first swig of my coffee tasted like dishwashing liquid. It's organic though. No, he doesn't, special ed. Come on, I just said we could pass the peep rock price of peep. I can't even speak. You're putting me off communicating. I would like everyone just to pass the peace pipe around when they arrive and we leave digs at the door. Yeah, well then if you say that, special ed, we're definitely going to block you. Special ed is from Leigh Geno's channel. There's a Leigh Geno's channel. But yeah, let's not be wishing AIDS on people, all right? God, it's like herding cats when you kids come in here. But yes, the drive the other day was fairly entertaining, I thought. And I suspect some people will probably stay away from my channel now. because of it, and that sucks because I thought it was quite fun. I like having people from all over YouTube dropping in and saying g'day. I hope people keep coming back. Uh-oh, there's the potato. Don't mess with cats. That's so awful. That guy is so fucked up. How fucked up is that guy? But one thing I did get out of that movie, which I thought was really cool, I love how there's a biker gang in the US that just go after people who fuck with cats. How cool were those guys? But yeah, I'm not sure if we want potato talk. Isn't that a bit of a hot topic around the tubes right now? And now I've got the Wiggles hot potato stuck in my head. Great. I brought you guys down here for some therapy, and I'm going to need therapy after this live. No, Joe, I walked out of the room, the vacuum bag, out of the room I went. But I was fascinated because that guy is just such a freak of nature and just such a fucked up unit. Yeah, Spud's all right, River. That's what we should do. We should all say Spud. I think I saw somewhere that the use of the word potato was causing distress because that too can be used in a derogatory way. But Spud is a great word. Me too, Heimdall's Cooter. The original Wiggles were the best. They've gone off the rails. Mashed banana. Mashed banana, mashed banana. No, the Wiggles were 5 men in different coloured skivvies, River, and they sang songs for kids, and it got out of hand, and they became world famous and millionaires. And there's a lot of Australian parents, but also parents in other parts of the world that can sing every word to every Wiggles song because they have the Wiggles on repeat in their car for years and years. Yeah, the cockroaches, Joey. It was only a couple of them, though, wasn't it? Well, or were they all from the cockroaches? I can't remember. I always thought Wake Up Jeff was stupid, though. Wake up, Jeff. Mashed potato, mashed potato. Hey, Jules by the beach. Are you on your beach? You can sing every Wiggles song. Yes, Bananas in Pajamas. Also legendary. And they got quite big too, and they added extra characters. And I actually know, I wonder if my friend Morgan will drop in, but they had like people in teddy bear costumes and stuff. Oh my God, I don't know if any of you saw the dude on that bike. Holy shit, he looked like a model. Hello. Hey. I kind of want to walk now. That guy he had a baby seat on the back of his bike, so I don't really want to walk after him. And he's also about 20 something. Are you working from home? Nice. Baby Bisou going down to the beach before it gets cold. Lovely. I'm enjoying seeing little Bisou growing up. Yummy, yummy fruit salad. Don't even know that one. H. Cooter's got all the songs. I know, wasn't there one about a car too? I don't have kids. I've got nieces and nephews and friends with children that I've heard bits of the Wiggles over the years, but they're not really like on high rotate at my house. But yeah, Bananas in Pajamas had 3 sort of human beings in bear costumes, and one of the bears was called Morgan, and that was a guy I grew up with here. I was also a maid of honour in a wedding with the guy who's B2 was the best man, and this couple only had like a maid of honour and a best man, so we sort of had to hang out. He's also in Priscilla, Queen of the Desert. He's the Aussie yobbo that picks fights with them in the bar in Cooper Pedy. Moonchild Pink, hello. Hey, Will the Rocker. Good to see you, gorgeous. Um, I've got some interesting tales, Joey. I know some interesting people, I think, that's made me meet other interesting people. That wedding that I was in with Greg, who was the Aussie bogan in Priscilla, who picked the fight in the bar. Not the chick who said stick your tampon in your clucker and exploded with a first bang you've had in years or whatever, but the guy, the sort of ranger guy, he's B2. I love it. We're down on the beach and we're chatting the wiggles. This smoking hot dude walked past and none of you give a flying flip about that. Joey, the metal chick, she is Will the Rocker. Quite, I will walk in a minute. It's just nice finishing my coffee, sitting here. You got, I got me an iPhone 12 Plus. My iPhone 7 stopped working. I'm not good with your iPhone 12. It doesn't take long, Will. It'll be your best buddy in under a week. I like that when you get a new phone and it's all a bit unfamiliar, and then suddenly one day you wake up and it's like you've been best friends forever. Murray the Red Wiggle was my favourite. One of them got really sick. Didn't one of them have a heart problem too? Like, I mean, they weren't young. Because the Cockroaches were a band when I was in like high school. So they're kind of my age or a bit older. I think I liked the yellow one. Oh no, maybe that's the one that was a bit creepy. I don't know. I didn't watch them enough to really get too fond. I used to get the bus to work at ABC many moons ago before driving. I'd be running late at 9 o'clock. Here's Humphrey used to come on at night. Always used to say, "Fuck off, Humphrey." Well, that's another tale I've got. This is my weird life. One of my housemates was a host for Here's Humphrey years ago, and he and the guy who was Humphrey were really good buddies. And they'd go out and party all night, and I'd be getting up to go to work. And Mike, who was one of the hosts, and the dude who played Humphrey would be sitting in the living room on the couch. He'd be in his Here's Humphrey outfit with the Humphrey head sitting on the couch next to him, and they'd be doing drugs at like 8 o'clock in the morning. Weird, seeing Here's Humphrey with his little baggie of goodies, you know. I'm telling stories I probably shouldn't. Oh man, I've lost half my crowd. Just when I told a good story. Shit for brains, you're going to spend 300 seconds in the naughty corner. Will or Scout, anyone that's got one of those blue things, do you want to just send shit for brains into the naughty corner, please? Yes, we love the Seekers. And I know another you was here's everything you say, I'm just going to find a really funny tenuous link. So the Seekers lead singer Judith Durham went to the same school as me, and she was in the same year at that school as my auntie. And my brother and sister-in-law had I Know I'll Never Find Another You as their bridal waltz, and we played 2 Seeker songs at my mum's funeral. We played Colours of My Life and The Carnival Is Over. Hey, Sunnyside. I know, Humphrey on drugs, it's scandalous. It was a long time ago. It is a beautiful view. Thank you. Tori knows everyone. I do have tenuous links to a lot of random people, but I don't know, colourful parents. And then I went to I lived in different cities and studied theatre, and one of my best mates is an actor, and then I got into comedy and met a heap of weirdos there. You know, like, it's like 6 degrees of separation. See, I knew Oh my God, Hotel's Scooter. Anthony was blue, Jeff was purple, Murray was red, and Greg was yellow. Oh, Greg wasn't the one I liked. Maybe I liked the blue wiggle. I don't know. I bet you Newcastle's big dog liked a bong too. We had a thing here. I don't know if Newcastle's big dog was the same, but we had Rupert Rabbit that used to come on and tell us to go to bed at like 7 o'clock. This fucking person in a costume would come on the screen and tell all the kids to go the fuck to sleep, basically. Did the big dog, did Newcastle's big dog do the same thing, Joey? Anne-Marie's whipping up a storm and she's making a different type of loaded baked potatoes. Oh, you still don't have your oven? Oh, cool. Are you filming it, Anne-Marie? Or probably not because you're chatting to me. You've got to film yourself making loaded baked potatoes. Yeah, we're talking the Wiggles sunny side. Oh, so Newcastle's big dog did the same thing. Yeah, we had Rupert Rabbit, and he'd come on, and Mum would be like, "Well, Rupert's basically said go the fuck to sleep, so off you go," and we would. Oh, you are filming it? Cool. My youngest used to tell me Big Dog ain't his friend. He ain't come to bed. Yeah, I don't know if we were quite that eloquent with our mum about Rupert Rabbit, but the sentiment was there. Tors, you're not old enough to remember Uncle John and Charlie. No, I love cooking too, Anne-Marie. See, look at everyone connecting in my chat over the Wiggles. All the naughty boys that were here before have left. I told them on my drive in the other day, I said, you're going to find me really fucking boring the next time you come into one of my lives. No, it's Rolf Harris, Will, and no, he shouldn't be a favourite. He's a dirty old man. Is Rolf still in jail? No, I didn't like him as a kid. That wobble board gave me the shits. I did like him drawing, and the paintings and stuff he did were pretty cool. He was kind of the original, like what Aunt Doe does now. For those of you that aren't in Australia won't know what the fuck I'm talking about, but there's a comedian here who sort of interviews people, but while he's interviewing them, he does a painting of them. But Rolf Harris used to do little paintings while he sang, and some of the paintings he did were pretty awesome. Yeah, the three bad legs. I'm Jake the Pig. You're trying to remember some of the Wiggle songs? Oh, Sunnyside, we've already been there. Mashed potato, mashed potato. There's the big red car. What else did they sing? Ask Heimdall's Scooter. She's the one with the playlist. And not just the playlist, but she knows every friggin' word. Yeah, Rolf was bad news. He did do the song Tie Me Kangaroo Down, but, you know, that's not a great song, really, when you think about it. Didn't Rolf Harris sing Two Little Boys? They had two little toys, each had a wooden horse. Do you think I would leave you dying when there's room on my horse for two? It ends up really sad. Bondage with a root. Exactly, Joey. And there's a lot of weird shit going on in that song, like Take Me Koala Back. Jack, where? Where are you taking me koala, Jack? What's the one with Ruth? Struth? Like peanut butter and jelly song. Oh, shit, now it's going to get back in my head because I started to think, what was that bloody song that Chris Watts saying in the kitchen, hot dog, hot diggity dog. Fuck, now it's back in my head again. Hey, Stacey Marie. Rolf Harris sang with the Beatles? Well, I bet the Beatles were upset in hindsight. It's a gorgeous view, Stacey Marie. We are going to go for a bit of a stroll. I can put a link in chat if anyone wishes to. I don't even know if my earbuds are on or off at the moment. I can't tell. I pressed one of them before and it made a little bleep noise, and I don't know what that means. But I did wonder if my rather rollicking live the other day would chase some people away from my channel. I hope not, because I would like people to come hither from wherever you're from and feel welcome here. But I had some pretty contentious Bluetooth. Yeah, the Bluetooth says it's on. I just don't know if the earbuds are. It's sad that we're hearing all this stuff only now about people we loved. Bye now. Back to work. Bye, Jules. Oh, I think she's meaning that, you know, the truth coming out about people, maybe. Oh, Sunnyside, you'd probably want to be wearing a wetsuit. It's pretty. There are people that do go for a swim every day. I keep thinking I should, like, especially on a day like today. I kind of think maybe I should go for a dip. Like, just, you know, run in and run out. You wouldn't be splashing around out there for very long. There's a guy, like, who lives near me who last year, that was his New Year's resolution, was to have a swim every morning. And he did it for the whole year. Even when it's bucketing down, he did it. And he's doing it again this year. And he said to me it's actually completely changed his life. Like, there's something about getting in the cold water and it wakes up, you know, all your pores. And a rare recording with the Beatles. Well, I still think the Beatles in hindsight made a mistake. Oh, you felt sad about Craig McLaughlin? Oh, no, he always gave me the heebie-jeebies. He had a bit of an attitude, a bit of an ego, that guy. I thought he was good in Neighbours as Henry with his big curly mullet. But he always struck me as being a bit of a big head. Plus, he looks a lot like my ex-brother-in-law, so that's another reason to not like him. The only good thing my ex-brother-in-law did was help create two incredible human beings who I adore. Will's flaming me with Rolf Harris clips. I'm not watching them. Did you see the documentary and the doctor show he was in? No, I don't know what documentary you mean, but no, I don't think I saw him as a doctor ever. I don't know, I just thought he was a bit of a tosser. And if the stuff that the women say about him is true, I mean, he was a tosser. He is a tosser. It is a very chill chat, which is why the troublemakers lost interest and bailed very quickly. Gosh, the sea's been pretty full on lately. We've got a bit of corrosion happening with the dunes. I mean, nothing dramatic, but we've had some big waves. It's nice to be out of the house. This self-isolation thing is a bit ridiculous. I mean, I get why, but I haven't been in any of the hot spots in South Australia, and the only one that was in the city where I was after I'd left, but it was also nowhere near where I was in the city. So anyway, I'm doing the right thing, but I don't know. I'm meant to be getting my first Pfizer shot on Sunday, and I don't think I'm allowed to go to the clinic. I'm waiting to hear what the Premier says tomorrow about people who've been in South Australia, but they'll ask me if I've been to South Australia and I'll say yes, and they'll say go home. I'll call them tomorrow after the Premier. I'll check it out, Will. I will. Dr. Blake Mysteries. Yeah, I don't. Thanks, Jules. I'm sure he's great in it if you like him, but Survivor's on, you know. I've got important shit to watch. Actually, I'm loving Fisk on the ABC on iView. I'm not normally. I don't dislike Kitty Flanagan, but I'm not like a huge fan of hers. But fuck, that show is funny. It's really funny. If anyone's looking for a good Aussie show and they just want a good laugh, check out Fisk, Fisk. You got your first one your first jab. You doing okay, Sunnyside? We had sad news here today. A 44-year-old Tasmanian guy died after his first AstraZeneca shot. And a 48-year-old woman in Melbourne as well. But they've administered some crazy, like millions of shots, and they've had 6 deaths. But it's still awful to think that some 44-year-old is no longer with us. My pants are falling down. You've had your jabs, Stacey Marie? Yeah, I had a problem with getting my jabs because the hot guy on the bike's coming back. I was in the AstraZeneca clinic, and then the government said yeah, Joey, well, 45 and a smoker. No, you don't want AZ. Even my GP, she's like, these are obvious and well-known. I'm taking these earbuds out. I don't know why I'm trying to put up with them in my ears. It's not like anyone's in chat, on panel with me, but I'll just turn my Bluetooth off. And thanks, Will, for sending that through. I've got you recommending I watch bloody Rolf Harris. I've got Jules telling me to watch a Craig McLachlan show. This is a very strange walk. I seriously will need therapy after it. But yeah, like my GP sort of went through the risk groups for AstraZeneca, and smokers is one of them. And you think, well, but anyone that smokes should just be given Pfizer, right? That's what the sound is, your Bluetooth. I've taken the buds out and I've turned my Bluetooth off. Oh, can we move on from fucking Craig McLachlan? Like, it's not like if it was, I don't know, if it was someone that was, found a cure for cancer, and then you found out they were a bit of a sleaze bag, I'd be upset about that. But for Craig McLachlan, he was like on Neighbours. He was in a shit band called Check 1 2 that did a song called Mona. Like, what did he do to change the world? Fuck all. I don't know why everyone's so sad about Craig McLachlan. If he's guilty of what he's been accused of, then his fall from grace is warranted. He didn't do it. Was he? Right. I'm not taking another step until somebody in chat comes up with something else for us to talk about other than Craig fucking McLachlan. But with the shots, yeah, so I ended up getting bumped out of an AstraZeneca clinic because they did that whole, if you're under 60, you now need to get Pfizer. And then suddenly they were like, oh, we'd give AZ to people in their 30s. But I'm booked into a Pfizer clinic on Sunday. But because I've been in South Australia and they're now, a grubby hotspot,
I may not be able to get it on Sunday, so I'm probably going to get bumped again. Oh my God, Joey's heartbroken about Craig McLaughlin. Joey, you and Jules need to create a support group for Craig McLaughlin fans on YouTube. The two of you need to just, sit together and reminisce and look at your old Craig McLaughlin posters while playing Mona and, sort of virtually hold hands across the interwebs and watch the show that he was in when he was a doctor. And, you'll get through this. I'm taking the piss, but I kind of wish you were. Yeah, I'm not a fan of liars. To be honest, I haven't followed his case closely enough to even know. Yes. You and Jules, the Craig McLaughlin fan club of YouTube. You'll have 2 subscribers by the end of the year, you and Jules. You'll get monetized in the year 3087. Okay, so all the bad boys left because they realised we weren't going to tolerate stupidity. Yeah. Well, you're not doing your metal chick reputation any good sticking up for McLaughlin in my chat, mate. You're still here, Will. Well, don't talk about Rolf again. My pants keep falling down. It's really hard to walk and talk and hold my camera and drink coffee and pull my pants up. Hello, Shine On. Good afternoon to you too. Subject change. What will be the recipe? Oh, yeah, I'm going to do I'm not actually thinking about going live. I'm thinking of just filming it because it's just making one of those really yummy rice bowl salads for lunches, but I'm actually having it for dinner. So it's brown rice and tuna and a heap of other good things. I think there's some broccolini. There's a walnut pesto. But I wasn't planning on going live. I think I might just do a video and put it on the Shitty Kitty Kitchen channel. I've got to do some serious editing too. I really want to put that meatball recipe and the skillet cookie recipes up because they're really good. I happily ate that meatball recipe for dinner 3 nights in a row, which is unlike me. And the skillet cookie, I ended up taking some of it to work, but the rest of it I chopped up into little individual servings and popped in the freezer because when you heat it up, it sort of goes all gluggy again. Oh, my God, it's so yum. Aussie as fuck. Hello. No, it's hard to have pants that are falling down when you're walking. I'm actually going to chuck these out after this walk because I can't wear them to yoga. I can't walk in them. They're like pants that I can only wear if I hop in a chair and don't move. It's okay, Will. You don't have to apologise. I just don't know how you don't know about Rolf Harris's fall from grace. It was pretty massive news. Sorry. What's that about when you're on the beach and there are people walking behind you and you slow down so they go around you and they don't? They just stay right behind you? They're like the tailgaters of the ocean. Keep your pants on. Well, that's what I'm trying to do. Oh, shit, now we've moved on to the sleaze bag from Hey Dad. Oh, God. Oh, thank you, Scout, for dropping the link. Yeah, so that's what I might do is say, because I go live to cook and 4 hours later, and I mean, that cooking live the other night was hysterical, but like 4 hours, and we covered the most inappropriate subject matter for YouTube while I'm happily cooking my meatballs and my skillet cookie. You're cracking me up, Joe. So now, Joe, tell me, I missed it. Whose panel were you on? What have you been up to? That's what I want to see. You guys are the superstars of my channel, not all these bloody sex offenders. I want to hear what you guys have been doing. Will the Rocker, you're like 10 years younger than me, so shush. Hush, Will, hush. Mate, I'm everywhere. But where have you been, Groover? It'd be pretty cold. I'm wearing blunnies. Like, I'm not even wearing sneakers. I've got blunnies on. I've got my Blunston boots on. I'm snug as a bug. I don't want to know how cold the water is. Are you doing the dishes with Dave and mates? Woohoo! You love meatballs and barbecue sauce crockpot recipe. I'll check that one out too. Not lovers. I've had to tell him we can't be lovers. How can we be lovers if we can't be friends, Dave? You're still doing the dishes, Dave? He said sorry. Yay! You got the apology that I didn't think you were going to get. See, cynical Tory was wrong. He said sorry. Awesome. So is that the end of it, Joey? Because you and, oh, fuck, what's her name? Reclining with Natasha, you're friends now too, aren't you? You're all happy. You're all like, it's all done? That's it? Robbie was the middleman. What does that mean? Was he helping or was he the implementer of it? I can't work things out. People need to spell things like that. You need to actually clap out syllables for me. So you and Tasha besties, awesome. And with you and Dave, but so what, he brought you two together? That's ridiculous. I had Casper in my chat who was friends with Space Monster, who could have vouched that you weren't Space Monster. If you like cucumbers, slice a few up and stir in a packet of ranch dressing. It's a great, refreshing snack. Obviously not sex, Tory. He's in America. Joey Wilson, who's Dave? It's doing the dishes with Dave. That's what I call him. He's this Aussie dude. Well, I don't know if he's a dude. I mean, my only involvement with him has been hearing about Joey hoping for an apology that never came, and now it's come. So, oh my God, these pants. These used to be my favourite yoga pants. They are so going in the bin. The ocean is so, isn't it beautiful? The reason my phone keeps doing this is because I'm pulling my pants up constantly. I just got to leave him and his channel around with his CW talk. Look, to me, any channel that's still talking about that, I don't care where they're coming from, what perspective. Move the fuck on. Now, we all know with true crime, people are still going to discover that case and talk about it for decades to come. And that's just the way true crime is. I mean, people still talk about Jack the Ripper, but for those of us that sort of were watching it in real time, that conversation's over. I don't care if they're, I don't get what it is I'm trying to do. Dave the Fisherman, God, that's a name from the past I haven't heard for a long time. Sherlock Holmes was based on a let my pants fall. You know how cold it is? And I'm wearing a G-string. I don't think that's a good look. I don't think me walking along with my pants around my ankles and I'm wearing a jumper, but it doesn't cover my bum. So you'd get my little blunny boots, my saggy pants. They're actually really tight pants, but they're just not staying up. They have got like a, like a thing inside you can pull and tighten to keep them up, but it's not working. And then, yeah, you'd get my G-string clad ass, which would get very cold because the sun is behind the clouds at the moment and it's not as warm as it was. There's a dude going down there ahead of us for a surf, though. There's quite a few surfers out. Tori the shagger always ready with her G. I'm just paranoid about having a visible panty line. I don't like it. I'm actually struggling with the new season of Survivor because all the girls, for some reason, are wearing like lycra bike shorts and they've all got visible panty lines. It's like, don't wear any knickers or wear a G-string. But these sort of undies that cut into your butt cheeks, so you end up with like 4 butt cheeks, and then it's highlighted by the fact that you're wearing pink bike shorts. I don't know. It's not a look I ever want to wear. Anything, yoga pants, jeans, a cheeky pair of slacks, any of that stuff. A tidy little G-string rather than a visible I see people in the most gorgeous outfits and they turn around and their knickers are just ruining it. You're all talking about Punky Brewster, who I never got into at all, so I'm just going to keep talking about why visible panty lines suck. The VPL. Yay, Sunnyside's chatting VPLs too. It is, it's a no-no. Like there was a gorgeous girl the other day that had, like a really beautiful grey, but like gorgeous grey sort of suit, like a pair of pants and a cute little jacket. And she looked great. And then she turned around and was like, oh, fuck, she's got 4 butt cheeks. I mean, I'm tackling the serious issues here today on the beach. Comfy and classy clothes. Because it's funny, people that are anti-G-string say, oh, do you really need a piece of string up your clacker? There's nothing worse than bunched undies up your clacker. Like, I would rather just have the string of the G in my butt crack than a whole fucking great chunk of underpants. Exactly, Stacey Marie. You know what I'm talking about, though, the 4 butt cheek look. Look, if that's your jam. But on Survivor at the moment, these girls have got these lycra Lululemon kind of bike shorty things on. And some of them are like, there's 2 tribes, and one of them is brains and the other one is brawn. So, like, you can imagine the bodies on the brawn girls. But they're wearing, like, pale pink or olive green or red. Why am I checking? You can't miss them. Have you ever watched Survivor? They wrestle all the, like, half the footage on Survivor is people's asses. Do you not watch it? Sunnyside's off to bed. Oh, 1 a.m. Holy shit. Sweet dreams. Thanks for popping in, Sunnyside. I got a life uniform, says Joey M. Wilson, black jeans and a black singlet. I would have like 17 black singlets, keeping my band shirts for good. Yeah, look at you. There are comfortable ones out there, and they are a necessity. Thank you, Heimdall Scooter. Thank you. I love Survivor too. Australian Survivor's great as well, Will. Yeah, when you're driving and the unders are bunched up, it is very uncomfortable. You're a Big Brother girl. I read today Meghan Markle's sister is in, it must be an American Big Brother. I haven't watched Big Brother forever. Do they still have it in Australia? I'll ask my buddy Mike. I'm friends with Mike, the guy that used to narrate Big Brother. Oh, look at me name dropping again. He's hilarious. He's very funny. We kind of got to know each other because of Reggie. But he cracks me up all the time on social media. And if I do or say something funny and he likes it, I'm like, I've had a good day. I like Mike. Hey, Cody, you just finished here in Australia. Oh, I do know Mike. I like Mike. Mike is funny as fuck. I know a few of them, like from Reggie's year, like Ben Archbold, who was they called him Dirty Bobby, I think, Fat Bobby. He was in the same season. He and I are pretty good buddies still. Reg has been on my YouTube channel a couple of times. We've hung out. You would have been hilarious on Big Brother, Joe. But yeah, I think leaving your kids that'd be tough. Unless you won it, you'd want to win it. You'd want to win it if you went away from home for that long. But yeah, Mike is funny and he's a really nice dude. Like, he's lovely. Well, you never know, Joey. How your kids a bit older now, right? I mean, if they're old enough to make their own breakfast, go in the house. Oh, yeah, see, they're all older now. Yeah, there you go. Nobody fishes from the beach down here, Will, but we do get quite a few, especially sort of that bluff over there. That's actually a point. That's a really good spot for crayfish and flathead. So you quite often see boats just out on that point. Most people that fish down here, sometimes I've taken you guys down to the boat ramp. That's where they fish from the jetty down there. But yeah, there's rarely good fish in a surf beach. So the quieter beaches around the corner, quite a few people fish there too. Yeah, 14, there you go, perfect. You reckon Joey would be in a cat fight in the first 10 minutes, or do you mean me? I reckon Joey would. I reckon Joey would be good watching for sure. Yeah, crayfish is yum. Hello, beautiful dog. Hi. Did you see? Oh, white lab. We'd all vote for Joey. We could stream it live. I'd message Mike and say, can you give me permission to stream it live on YouTube? And we could all tune in and watch Joey calling everyone a fuckwit. It'd be awesome. Yeah, that little lab was gorgeous. She was very pretty too. She had quite curly hair. It kind of reminded me of Sunny's tummy. Sunny's got the blondest, curliest tummy. It's so gorgeous. Like, she's got the ultimate beach hair, but it's all over her belly. If she rolls over and lets me tickle her tummy, my God, it's such a treat. She's such a gorgeous, that cat is so beautiful. Doesn't matter what direction you're looking at her. She's just beautiful. Oh, Cody says it's turning into Survivor. I loved the original Big Brother, I've got to say. I mean, the first year, because nobody knows what is going to happen. And do you remember the first one that had like Sarah Marie? I can't even remember who won the first one. But because they had no idea really what was going to happen, they had, see, I had a bit of a following on the forum. I started a thread on their forum and it took off. And I kept winning all these awards. And then the next year they asked me to write like a blog sort of thing for it. I was a pre-recorded. Oh. And Gretel was great. I remember the guy that came out and put a bit of tape on his face and refused to speak. He was a kook. But yeah, I started a thread about, there was a girl, Jess, who was an absolute, remember Marty and Jess? But I started a thread that was something like, girl with one brain cell can eat with a spoon, and it just became this massive thread. It sort of turned into this whole community. It was hilarious. Oh, because of COVID. Well, what my friend Scott went through, the guy that was on MasterChef, like it was nearly, I think, by the time he left MasterChef, and then he had to go back to Melbourne again, but it was over 6 months. And they used to be like 3 months. But because of COVID, and he had to quarantine a few times, and like it was a massive, massive effort. It's amazing that they were all able to cook, really, considering what they had to go through just to be able to be on the show. Oh, Jules, you're going to walk with me? Hang on a sec. It's really... Hey there. Sorry, yeah, Jess was the one whose brother died. It's quite hard to do this, Jules. Just give me a sec. I kicked myself out, so you got to go. Thanks for popping in, Joey. Thank you. Oh, shit. I've kicked myself out again. Oh, no, what's happening? I've got this new bloody bottom thing, and it's really annoying. Like, it's like a, I don't even know if that worked. I can't even see. I've got like a new, oh, it's done it again. There's a new thing that's happening on my phone. Like, you know when you have, see you, Stacey Marie, see you, Joey, hi, Veruca. You know, unlike, you know, you can pin things to the bottom of your screen on a laptop. I've got like this row of shit now, and it's got a little cross that you think would get rid of it, and it doesn't. And then on the other side, there's a little arrow, and the same thing, like it won't. And it's really annoying me, like, because it takes up, phone screens don't have a lot of stuff on them, right? But it won't disappear. It's really annoying, and I can't even read the chat now. So I'm probably not going to try and put the link in. I thought I did, but I can't even see it in the chat. Sorry, Jules. But because now I've got this bloody bar down the bottom that is blocking everything. And yeah, even chat, I can't see a thing. That didn't work. I'm going to start heading back. Jules, just have fun with Bisu. I tried to do it and now I've got this ridiculous thing taking up half of my screen. And it's just, nope, that didn't fix it. I do not know how to get rid of it. Oh, okay. I closed a heap of little windows. We're back. Anyway, thanks for hanging out with me, guys. Just going to walk back to my little track. I am definitely getting rid of these DACs. I mean, I've had them for about 10 years, so I think it's time they went, bye-bye. Hey, look at this. Because we've had a bit of big surf, it's like the surf has taken all the sand away from around this little cluster, and it's a perfect little rectangular. Yeah, I'll try it next time, Jules. Sorry, it was all a bit much. I've taken my earbuds out too, so I probably wouldn't have been able to hear you. But how weird's that? Just this little patch of their coastal daisies. I did. I fixed it. These have also got a hole in them just up under the waistband, so I think they really are. It's time for them to go. I was going to say they could be good cleaning cloths, but they won't be because they've got quite a lot of seams and, typical wanky yoga pants. They've got different fabrics running down the leg and, like all that sort of shit. Do you remember your mum and grandmas used to cut up old clothes for cleaning rags? I never do that. I'd rather, if they're still functional clothing, I'd rather donate it. But these are just going to go in the bin. I've got so many pairs of yoga pants, so it's really not going to matter. It's just these ones are cool because they're long. Like, they go right down to my ankles. They're nice winter ones. Most of mine are 3/4. Well, that was a nice little stroll. That's a cute shell. Bit close, mate. Bit close. I can share the beach, cyclist. He was. I've got my ass in the air while I'm recording that little shell, and he was like, I felt the breeze brush past me. Sweet dreams, Will. Oh, that sun is so warm. It feels beautiful on my neck. You tell him. Not a jerk. Oh, there's all these friggin' signs everywhere from drivers, motorists. Share the road with cyclists. We do. It's the cyclists that just do whatever the fuck they want. And this guy nearly ran into me on the beach. I mean, there's enough sand, isn't there? It's not my fault he can't ride in a straight line. And he can't. Look at his track. I don't know if you can see it. Motherfucker. He did. He did. He did. He could have wedged the tyre between my buttocks, between my butt cheeks. When you see signs that say share the road with cyclists, how about cyclists share the beach with walkers? Fucking fucker. Well, we've covered a lot of topics today. Thank you for the boys who dropped in at the start and realised how I'm not that exciting usually when I go live. I knew when they all came in the other day when I was driving, they thought they'd stumbled across a new drama channel. But I think they've realised that, well, I told them, I said, you're not going to find me very interesting. And sure enough, they realised I'm not and they left. I suspect I'll probably lose some subscribers too for having some of those controversial lads in my chat. But look, I don't have the time to research any of them to know if they're evil or not. If they come into my chat and they're cool, that's fine with me. If they've got a past on YouTube, I don't have the time to research. And how can I anyway? You know, like if I find a channel talking about them, it's quite likely it's a channel that doesn't like them. And then I've got to interview them and get their version. No, I can't be bothered. So as long as they're okay when they come into my chat, I'm fine with them. If I've lost subscribers because people have seen them in my chat, well, that's on the person who's gone, you know, because I can't enforce rules to please everyone on YouTube or I won't have any fucking subscribers. I'm going to sit back down here. I have one more ciggy before I head up the jeans. Hey, I've got to try Champix again. It did nothing for me at all. I didn't have weird dreams. I didn't want to kill anyone. And I didn't stop smoking. So I've had to go and get another starter kit. I got it before I went to Adelaide. It's waiting for me at home. But it didn't, like I got to the end and nothing happened. So when I went back to get an ongoing script, my GP was like, we've got to start you from the beginning again. Everyone has a bad Champix story that they have to tell you. If you mention Champix, like I can't handle it. If you smoke, you get lectured. So then you try to do something to help you quit and you get lectured about that. I'm just like, why has everyone got a strong opinion? And it's all coming from people who don't smoke and never have. This is why I don't like people, because nobody can meet the expectations that other people have of you. Here comes a plane bringing diseased people from other lands. Go away. All the ones having a blue will be mates again next week. That seems, I don't know. I actually think it's got so bad that, yeah, there was a time when, you know, people would have a spat and then they'd make up and you'd be like, yay, they've made up. That doesn't happen. It's got too far because people have taken everything onto YouTube, like all the personal conversations that they've had and things that were going on behind the scenes back when they were friends. They have no qualms sharing all of that shit now. I think it's, yeah, I think people need to just sort of, that are caught in that web, they're either going to stay in that web because they enjoy it, or they're going to find a way to get off the web and reinvent, like, I mean spider web, not the web, the interwebs. Or they're going to have to get out of the web and just reinvent themselves and just go down a whole new trajectory and get away from it. Because I think it's gone beyond kiss and makeup kind of stuff. It's got so personal. Oh, it's beautifully summed up there, Scouting Choir. We are at peace and love and open for discussion. We don't tolerate hate speech or drama. We don't. But that being said, you know, say a couple of people did end up in my chat from opposing sides and they were able to talk things out a little bit without being fuckwits. Like the other day there was a bit of a thing going on between Steph and Laura. if it had turned really nasty, I know that one of my mods would have probably timed them both out or given them a warning or something just to get them to chill out a bit, because it's not really the right platform for that sort of shit. But I'm also quite okay with, if it gets a bit sort of heated or whatever, but they make a bit of progress, then. But a lot of it is just so pointless, like a lot of it's just. God, the waves are getting bigger. They look so small on my screen, but in the flesh, they're terrible waves for boogie boarding. You just get dumped, and surfing. Yeah, get out of the web, like I think some of them will just stay in the web because they like it there. And if that's their jam, go for it. But I've noticed over the years on YouTube that people will go into a chat and see someone they don't like and then bail from that channel. And maybe I'm a bit idealistic, hoping that people will come here and be okay with a bit of a mixed bag. Because don't you think it's actually a bit refreshing to go into a channel where there are people from all the different feuding sides all in the same chat? I think it's kind of cool because they don't really do that anymore. They're all on their own side doing their lives with their people up on panel who support them, and everyone in the chat supports them. And then someone else is live talking about them, and they've got, maybe other people on panel, or they're on their own, and then they've got people in their chat support. Like, they're not actually meeting in the middle. I have, Aussie. The only person who's allowed to be a dickhead around here is me, and I'm very good at being a dickhead. So, if anyone wants to take me on, you've got quite a challenge ahead of you. But, they're never going to make there's never going to be any truces or anything like that because they're not actually speaking to each other. They're speaking about each other. And they've got their echo chamber all cheering them on and supporting them. And it's great that anyone on YouTube's got people supporting them, but if the feuding parties never talk it out, there will never be any change. So I don't know, if this becomes like a little place where a couple of people might come and nut a few things out together, then that's cool. I don't mind mediating. Yeah, I don't like the side thing, and I've been bouncing between channels for the last few years that have been sworn enemies from day one. It doesn't bother me. I'd go where I'm entertained or inspired. And most of those channels do neither for me. Not even the train wrecks I used to find entertaining, but they're even beyond that now. It's like fucking nuclear explosions. All right, one more cigarillo, and then I am going to start to go up the hill. Plus, there's so many other things going on YouTube that are really interesting and fascinating and exciting and silly. But if Sky Z, if you hear this, I don't know why I couldn't see you in my chat. And if you've blocked me because of who I had in my chat the other day, I'm really sad because I don't know who brought them all to my yard. I thought it was quite funny, actually. My crazy little channel was lit on a drive to work. Like, it made me laugh. There were over 30 people, and it was all these randos who I've seen in chats all over YouTube for the last 3 years, and then other people that I've only heard of and never even seen before. But I hope I didn't lose Sky as a sub because I was fond of Sky. But when I did the replay, I'm saying hello to Sky and reading out Sky's comments. But when I looked in the chat, Sky wasn't there. Yeah, the hate watching. Yeah, I mean, if it was a channel that was just going live and being horrible about me all the time, which won't happen. I mean, well, they go live, they're going to go, she's actually really boring. She sits on the beach. But why would you want to listen to someone saying awful things about you? I agree, Ozzy. It's really weird. But then I guess it gives them a reason to go live and be all affronted and upset. And, you know, like it's sort of I think it's part of the addictive cycle that some people on YouTube are in. They like slinging mud because they know it's going to come back at them, and then they can respond to that and sling some back. You know what I mean? Like it's kind of it's like when you're having a debate and someone wants to always have the last word. I feel like that's what's happening on those channels. But they're never going to get to have the last word because it means all that sort of reason to crank up a live will end. And I think they kind of like it in a weird way. They like the support that they get. They like people telling them, you know, yeah, it's not you, it's them, and all that sort of stuff. I think all of that probably fuels it, you know. Some people need a new hobby. Exactly. I think that's why I've got a pretty healthy relationship with YouTube. Like I'll go live when I can and if I'm in the mood to, but I've got a whole lot of other stuff going on in my life that keeps me really busy. So it's sort of like, for me, YouTube's kind of my downtime in a way. But at the end of the day, you know, YouTube's there. People can have platforms and they can put whatever they want on there. I just can't. Do you know what actually surprises me, Ozzy, is the number of people that roll up for that shit. They live for it. They love it. That's what blows my mind. There are some people doing things on YouTube that are just mind-blowingly interesting. People that are saying very interesting things or doing very interesting things, and they're lucky if they get 10 people in their lives. I'm not saying me, I'm not in that group. But there are some channels that I watch and it blows my mind they don't have 1,000 people watching what they're doing because it's so fucking good and interesting. But then you go live and bitch about somebody else and you can have 800 people watching you. What the fuck is that all about? Oh, they'll find someone else, Ozzy. They'll find somebody else. They'll just move on to the next sucker. But yeah, this sort of sociology of and the psychology of YouTube and watching it from a distance, it fascinates me. And I'm like you, Ozzy, I have so many questions that even if we got the right answer, I still think we'd be like, huh? You know what I mean? Like it wouldn't be like, oh, okay, yeah, that makes sense. We'd be like, oh, right, really? But there's always going to be a villain. There's always going to be an enemy. There's always going to be someone to bitch about. I mean, we've witnessed it for nearly 3 years. 3 years next month. So, you know, if somebody does dip out, it just opens the door for the next sucker to walk through, and somebody will. You don't have to do or say much to become a target on YouTube. And then once you're at that target, then that never-ending spiral starts. Because then, you know, that person wants to defend themselves and then they'll say something while they're defending themselves, and then someone else will jump on that and then they'll go live about that, and then the other person has to come on and defend that, and then they'll say something else, and then someone else will go live, and then a completely new person will arrive on the scene and they'll weigh in on it, and suddenly you've got 50 fucking channels all talking about the same creator. Oh, Mike Goldman, yeah. Oh, did you ask earlier what his name was? I'm sorry if I missed that. He's a kook. He's a good egg. And he looks incredibly like another really good buddy of mine too, which that sort of attracted me to Mike in the first place. It's like, oh my God, you look just like Greg. So yeah, it's if this becomes a little lounge where people want to hang out and people from all different communities rock up, but I suspect the other day my drive, I did get a couple of messages about people saying your channel has turned to shit. I saw the scum that you've got in there was one comment. I'm like, they haven't been scummy to me. And a lot of the things that people are, accused of doing that makes them scum, you don't have to do many bad things on YouTube to be labelled scum. You got it. Well, he might become your new buddy if you go on Big Brother, Joey Wilson. And I don't have time to research people. As long as they're a decent folk in my chat, I really don't give a shit. I was just talking about, I got a message about the Bizarro World Gathering I had in my chat the other day, which I thought was hilarious. But, I had a couple of comments, and one person in particular was telling me that my channel will implode if I allow scumbag like that in my chat. Oh, well, if it implodes, it implodes. I mean, what can I say? I think you're right, Ozzy. They wake up and they go, oh, God, I hope there's a live about me that I can do a reaction to. That's why, I mean, at the end of the day, if you stop talking about people, it's often the best way to deal with it. It's just don't talk about them ever again. But the problem is if you go live talking about someone and you've got 800 people in your chat all cheering you on and telling you're amazing and agreeing with you, I guess that sort of, it fuels them to keep doing it. I know, Joey, which scumbag? I don't know. They didn't tell me. They actually said scumbags. I mean, pick anyone. Who knows? I thought it was great. The thing I loved watching the chat back, Joey, when you arrived, you were like, what the fuck is going on? What the fuck happened? I think you said. Like people's reactions when they arrived and the comments were gold. Because it must have looked bizarre. Like people were just cruising in. It's like, what? Because there were all sorts of people. It was hilarious. And they just kept cruising on in. And it was the comments from people. And Ruth was the only mod. She did a great job. Look, I don't know. I mean, I know that there are people on YouTube that think a lot of the people in my chat the other day were scumbags. I don't think any of them are, because there wasn't one person in my chat who's done anything scumbaggy to me. So Joey, I don't actually know, because I don't know who the email's from. It's not an email that identifies them, and they didn't put anything under it. But they didn't sign off. I doubt it was Starlight. I mean, I know people have got strong opinions about Starlight, but she and I met in the original Chris Watts gatherings, and it was back when YouTube was fun, and she used to do really funny little piss takes of Molly Go Lightly, and I mean, I knew her before she was called Hello Starlight. And I went live one day specifically for her down here because there was a whale with a calf frolicking, because she loves whales. Like, I've never actually had, apart from that time when she clipped me and I had to respond because it was sort of a bit out of context and I wanted to explain what it was about. But again, there was no one in my chat the other day that has ever done or said anything horrible to me. I know that there were people in the chat that are very polarizing and people have very firm views about them. But I kind of liked having a random collection of people. No, they can't say who's on my channel. And look, I know there are people in my chat that have gone down the drama road and they like to do the bitchy streams, and I don't watch them anymore. But it doesn't mean that I didn't know them at a different time, in a funnier time. What they do now is not my thing. And I've heard people on all sides of YouTube, and I don't know how many fucking sides there are, but there's more than two, say some pretty shitty stuff, but they haven't said it to me, and they weren't saying it to anyone in the chat. Well, there's a bit of tension between Steph and Laura, for sure. But if they come to this high-end rooftop gin bar in Tasmania and get out of the little shitty dive bars they're all running around in, and they can all be relatively well-behaved, cool. I got a kick out of it. I liked that I had all that. It's not the first time it's happened. I had a live one time back, way back, in 2018. I had opposing sides back then in my chat, and they were all having a fabulous time. I had a live on the beach not that long ago, and I had people like Stella rock up, and then I had Dana, and I think Laura popped in, and can't think who else, but like there were all people from all different places cruising on in. I had someone from Boyd. I think I might have had one RDA or an ex-RDA. Like, you don't even know who Steph is. Well, Steph's very big in the drama community. So, I mean, big by, she's on a lot of panels and she's relatively new and has a lot to say. She's pretty polarising. But they're kind of those channels that now that if they just want to rip other YouTubers to shreds, I don't care. I mean, I like a lot of people on YouTube, and I used to find way more people on YouTube entertaining, at least in those communities, than I do now. But I'm not invested in them enough to sit and listen to them bitching for hours on end about someone else. If one of them went live and they were walking on a beach, I'd probably tune in if they were just chatting about the beach and what they're up to. But if they dislike each other, why follow them? Well, that's Aussie. I think that still goes back to the other point we were just making, that they're getting numbers. People are watching it, and it's a buzz. I mean, I'm not going to lie. It was a buzz having 32 people in my chat the other morning. It's fun. You go, holy fuck, this is hilarious. And it kind of spurs you on. And, yeah, Steph did the really bad Aussie accent. That's how we'll remember Steph. But one of her Australian friends told her it was pretty good, but no, it wasn't. I gave her shit about it. She actually, I went live about it. I did a live about it. But she came in around that time, and she was saying that she was imitating Wendy V and Blue Topaz. And I said, oh, Blue Topaz is a bit upset because she's actually a Kiwi. And it was very tongue-in-cheek, a bit of Aussie sarcasm. And I think Steph took it seriously, and she said, oh, I'm going to apologise to Blue Topaz. But I don't think Blue Topaz gave a fuck. But Wendy V and Blue Topaz always give each other shit about being Australians and New Zealanders. So, yeah. I know your reaction when you walked in, Joey, was gold. And there were a few people, like my usual subs, were rocking up and going, huh? What the fuck? I think you're like, what happened? But it proved my point. You put something in your header about anything to do with the drama community, and they rock up in the droves. In the droves, It's so I think, Aussie, back to your comment before, like, it's a buzz, and that's why they follow each other around and they try to stir things up a little bit, and then hopefully one of them will say something dodgy, and then the next thing they can go live for 38 hours about it. You know what I mean? Like, it's kind of like a drug. It's addictive. It was like a doof party at 8. It was hilarious. I had the best day at work too. Like it put me in the best mood because it was just cracking me up just seeing all these names. And there's a few people that came in that I've chatted with in various channels, but under one of my alt accounts, they wouldn't have a clue it was me. But it was a bit of a thrill for me because I'm kind of, part of me is like, if only you knew. Yeah, and there's other people whose names I've seen around but I've never engaged with. And then there were people I'd never even heard of. It was great. But yeah, so I think there's a bit of a buzz that you get, you know. It's a bit like doing a really good comedy set and you get a standing ovation at the end. It's a massive, or even just a round of applause. Like, it's a buzz. And I think YouTube provides that kind of a buzz. If you're fucking live and you're screaming and carrying on about somebody and you've got 800 people watching you and telling you you're awesome and they agree with you, that would fuel it. And I don't think any of them want to let go of it because, you know, I don't go live to get 800 people. I like just going live, and if someone wants to hang out with me, that's awesome. But a lot of people on there, that's what they want, especially if they're monetized, because there's money in it, you know. There's money in it if you can draw a crowd. I mean, I've been monetized for what, 3 months, I think, and I still haven't reached the minimum threshold to get paid by YouTube. But some of these people would be making maybe $500 a month, maybe 1,000. I don't know. And that's the other thing. I mean, if you throw money in the mix too, that's another addiction that it fuels. Okay, it kind of sickens me that people do make money bitching about other people, but can you imagine they'll be like, check me out, I'm making $1,000 a month and I'm just bitching about people. This is the best. Yeah. Look, Aussie, that's exactly what we would do, which is why most Australian channels don't have 800 people ever watching them, because we would be like, oh, fuck off, you cunt, and that'd be it, right? That's part of the problem. I think I don't get it either, because we're not in the brains of other people that live in other countries. We think differently. We do. Aussies can't be fucked. Even if we did want to have a debate with someone, we'd have the debate and then shake hands at the end. We'd either agree to disagree or we'd go, good debate, you've actually changed my view on this. And that would be, you know, you'd never discuss it again. The interview room had over 6,000. Yeah, doesn't it blow you away when you see, oh, that's the guy, was he doing Summer Worlds? I think it was Chasing Truth, was telling everyone to go and watch it this morning. I slept in. I didn't sleep in. I woke up, but it was a sleep-in morning for Sonny and I. But I put YouTube on while I was making a cuppa, and it was my Bluetooth speaker. And then I went back to, and it was on my laptop, and I went back to bed, and I'm lying in bed. I wanted to read a book, but I think it was a clip channel that came on first, and then Chasing Truth came on, and I'm lying in bed going, oh, I had Sonny on my chest. I was like, oh, well, I guess I'm listening to this now. He interviewed the 15-year-old. It's a horrible case, isn't it? Okay, this definitely is my last cigarillo. I was looking at the timer on my live and I'm like, oh, it's not even 2 o'clock in the afternoon yet. And then I was looking at my clock and go, no, it's actually nearly 4. I might go back up and set up the kitchen and film this, making this brown rice, tuna, broccolini salad with a walnut pesto. I like making lunches. I think people need good ideas to make lunches for work, or if you're at home in isolation or whatever, some like yummy, healthy lunches. No, they haven't found it, Aussie. That interview's got even more questions, Joey. Like, I don't know, like interviewing a 15-year-old, there's so many issues with doing that. No wonder that many people watched it. It's kind of a bit irksome, I think, for us here in Australia. Like, there's no way in hell you would be able to do that, ever, ever. So I think that's why probably a lot of people tuned in, because it's just like, holy shit. Because that kid is connected to the case. He was one of the last people to see her alive. The mum and the grandma were there too. Okay. But still, like, were they cammed up? Because this is just stuff that won't ever happen here. Like, minors don't even get named, let alone thrown onto a YouTube channel. Fuck. I mean, that's why Chris Watts was so gripping, because the amount of discovery that was released, like, that doesn't happen here either. That's what, I mean, well, that's not what hooked me in. What hooked me in was when Shanann and the girls were still missing and that fucker was on the porch, and I'm like, oh my God, you're the American Gerard Baden Clay. You killed them, like, straight up. But yeah, that would never, and I mean, that's, I sometimes think if I want to do a live and do a serious topic, I'd really like to talk about how social media can completely fuck up court proceedings. Like, a time is going to come where guilty people are going to be walking around in the community because social media fucked up a trial. In fact, there's a couple of cases where it's already happened, and it's going to get, like, worse. You got to see a lot of that belly. Yeah, Chris Watts was guilty as sin from the jump. And I got kicked out of Facebook groups because I wouldn't budge. And they, oh, you're not critically thinking. I'm like, I don't need to. He did it. Next. You don't have to apply critical thinking when it's a clean-cut case. Move on. And I wasn't stifled. I wasn't in there 100% of the time. I barely participated, but I got accused of trying to stop a conversation and got kicked out. Seriously? Critical thinking is a brilliant thing when nobody knows the answer. Chris Watts, we knew it. He did it. Good morning, Ruth. Ruth, all your boyfriends were in here earlier. You missed them. Well, not all of them, but quite a few from the other morning dropped in, hung around for about 10 minutes, realised I'm boring as batshit and left. But thank you again, gorgeous, for the great job you did the other day. I did thank Ruth not long after that live ended, everyone, just so you know. Oh, Joe, are you talking about... Yeah, you missed your boyfriend. Sorry, mate. You're talking about Chris Watts, Joey? Because I can't remember the name of the murder. It could well be the Lawson. That's an unsolved one that happened near where he grew up. Because I think it was Jules of Thought who talked about that one time. And I was like, that's actually that's probably the most interesting live. Nothing really came of it, though. But it was the first sort of Chris Watts live that was, well, I mean, other people may have already covered it. I don't know. But I was like, well, that is actually an interesting side angle. Who has their gut hanging out on video? Well, me, when my pants keep falling down. At least my camera's not showing it, though. You're still listening, Heimdall's Cooter? Hello, gorgeous. I'm about to go up through the dunes anyway, so I'm going to end this in a minute. Oh, a different one, Joey. Huh, okay. But did you see that Jules of Thought one? It was really interesting. There's an unsolved murder of a girl who lived in the same areas where Chris Watts grew up, and he would have been maybe still even at high school when it happened, but it had a lot of scary parallels to how he murdered Shanann and the girls. And Um, yeah, it was very interesting, but nothing ever really came of it. It didn't go anywhere. Oh, it was the murder of the whole family. They said the dad did it, but one son survived. I don't know that one. Interesting. This will sound bad, but I'd really like to start covering some Australian stuff. I thought about doing old cases, but they've been done to death. I'm sort of waiting for something to happen in Australia that, you know, intrigues me enough to cover it. But so far, nothing. I mean, I don't want anything bad to happen to anyone, but I kind of think it'd be good to do an Aussie. Oh, the Lawson. Yeah, no, I do know that one. The Sultanas on the Cake one. Yes. I think I covered that one in one of my Smooth Criminal podcasts too. I can't remember what the theme was, but sorry, I'm a bit blank today. Jules is an interesting character. I don't watch her that often. She's come into my lives before. But that particular one was really interesting though. Just sort of, it was an interesting, like possibly a total coincidence, but it was, I guess, it was refreshing to hear a different take. You know, these bushes are all getting so thick and lush. Yeah, the photo, the family photo, that would have cost so much for them to get it, and the new clothes, and yet the floor in the house was dirt. Did you say it was early? Are you talking about the Jewels of Thought one? It was only this year. It wasn't that long ago, and I was thinking this is really interesting, but it didn't go anywhere. I don't think. I mean, it might have. I don't know, but or maybe she's done it more than once. But I'm pretty sure it was this year that I saw her talking about it, and yeah, it was an unsolved murder near where he grew up, and it kind of, you know, it's possible he might have been warped, you know, because remember, like, his mother said that he would go into the bathroom and she could hear him in there, like he'd lock the door and he'd be begging God to forgive him. And I'm pretty sure Jules mentioned that too. Like, you know, what was he doing that for? Why was he locking himself in the bathroom and begging God to forgive him? What teenage boy does that? And what would prompt a teenage boy to do that? Yeah, and I wish I could remember it better, because I remember at the time thinking, oh, if this takes off, this is worth talking about Chris Watts. Yes, she was pregnant. Exactly. Yes, she was. The victim was pregnant. And there were these weird correlations or, you know, the weird things in common. I mean, that's a pretty weird thing to have in common, isn't it? So yeah, I thought it was really interesting, but I don't know if it sort of went anywhere. But I was like, well, this is actually a good angle if you're going to bring up that fucker. And I hadn't heard anyone ever talk about it before either. And then it just kind of petered out. Look at that sky. All right, I'm nearly at the top of the dunes. I'm going to log off, boo-boo. Thanks for hanging out with me, guys. 2 hours. Didn't really walk as far as I'd planned to. Something to do with my pants. These pants are going in the bin. Here you go, Grievers. Notice Summer was about to go to school. So was Bella. And CW wants the girls' medical records sealed. Huh. I thought they were already. But we haven't seen everything in that case, so we never will. You have a lovely day too. Well, it's a lovely afternoon for me now. I'm going to go back, make this salad, and then I've got a Zoom party tonight with some friends. The guy that I know that was on MasterChef, my friend Scott, we're all Zooming in together, which will be fun. The Summer Worlds one is sad, but, there's so many channels covering. I don't ever really want to get into a case that's been covered by so many channels. I'd rather just listen to them. I mean, I'm keeping an eye on that one, but I kind of wonder why certain cases grip so many people. When you look at how many kids go missing in America every day, like, why does one particular child not only sort of get more attention than any other, but by so many channels? It's kind of an odd thing to me. But again, is that more about YouTube and latching onto something that's topical and popular? It was a good chat, Joey. Thanks for hanging out. And thank you, Heimdall's Cooter, with your Wiggles knowledge. You might want to change your name to Heimdall's Wiggle. It's the psychology of YouTube again. Some cases just get a lot of airtime, and then all these other ones, no one gives a flying flip. All right, Groovers, I'm tackling the hill. The amount of info. See, I went into an area I'm allowed to go. Dogs are allowed down there. So I'm out of here, guys. Thanks for hanging out. And thank you to everyone who dropped in. And enjoy your Thursday evenings or your Thursday mornings, wherever you are in the world. Stay safe and stay groovy. Bye for now.